Hello, and welcome back to Desert Climber, where today I have the scoring update. So, as always, let's hop into play mode and check out everything new with the game. The first thing that you're probably going to notice is that I'm no longer getting hurt by touching just anything. I did get the hazard system working, so now we're only taking damage from specific harmful objects, like these cactus. And we also have the red health now, and this cone. We'll get to it in a second. Now you'll notice that when I die, which I'll just manually damage myself here to show this, see that green 2 up in the top left. That is because I now have lives. So I started with 3, and that first death brought me to 2. If I do that again, we'll go down to 1, and anything past that, it will display game over. Later on, this will bring me to a different screen, but for now, it's just a message. Uh, if they come towards me, it's this blank cone, and that's purely to show off that there's now this follow player component that's acts the same as the chaser script, but now it can be applied to anything that it needs to, so I don't have to clutter up the chaser script anymore. Always remember our principle of encapsulation. Now, on this table, there's this silver ball, and by hopping up and collecting that, you'll see it will pop up a yellow 50. That is our score. There's now a whole bunch of these little balls all over the place that I can go around and collect to increase the score. Let's see. So over here. And of course, if I go up to the top of the pillar and complete the main objective of the game by touching the gilded orb, that is going to give us a very big score boost of 1,000. And of course, tell us that we've won. There we go. So 1,200 for total. So that's pretty much everything for this update. Now back into the editor, I'll explain how all of this is working. In my blueprints, there's this new game mode script, the game instance. This is what is allowing our player lives and score to function across the game instance. So that even though we reset everything when the player dies, some things, like for now, the player's lives and score, are kept and not reset. This functions because the game instance is a singleton. Unlike all of these other blueprints that are actors and components that can be copied and duplicated, if something is a singleton in the game, uh, if something is a singleton in the game, it will only ever allow one of these things to be made. This is useful for storing things like game-wide data and being able to access that data throughout various levels. So taking a closer look at this game mode blueprint, I want to show these events here, on player death and on coin pickup. Events are, of course, things that happen during the game that can cause things to occur within blueprints. But unlike other events we've been using, like event begin play and event tick, that come hard coded into the game engine, these are custom events. So somewhere else in the code, it is specified that these events will activate. In the case of coin pickup here, inside of the coin script, it tells it's that when the player touches the coin, this event has occurred. So we're able to, instead of having just the events the game or the game engine allows us to, have anything be an event. I also want to show inside of the health script here some functions. Functions are an easy way to compartmentalize your code so that instead of having massive sprawling graphs that do 20 things in one space, you can break each function being performed into its own section. In the health script here, we have 3 of these, one for taking damage, one for healing, and one for dying. They all interact independently of and can be inside of the event graph. So this here is what's allowing me to manually damage and heal the player, because by pressing these keys, it's calling on these functions that perform those tasks. They can also interact with each other, like the take damage function here, checking to see if the player's health is at or below 0, if it's reached 0 at some point, and then executing the die. Or this isn't the player health, so not the player, but checking to see if an object's health has reached 0. All right, and that's all for today. Thanks for watching.